episode 2, that was the topic that we was talking about. What are you a slave to? And it's good to identify. It's good to identify these type of things. And like I say, so we went down a couple scriptures. We talking to ChatGPT and all that, right? And this was serious. Well, this was the question. The question was, is it scripture that speaks to being a slave to something like vices and etc. So it is scriptures that speak to that, yeah. So go back and they gave us a couple scriptures, Romans 6:16, John 8:34, Peter 2:19. Okay. Faculty use of that. And then, at the bottom it say that that last one, this Peter 2:19, that's the way I had it. They promise freedom, but they themselves are slaves of sin and corruption. For you are a slave to the Lord your soul. All right. And then it says on ChatGPT, when I put it up to ChatGPT, it say that last one hits heavy. People are slaves to whatever has mastered them. That could be lust, money, anger, pride, drinking, or even social media. Now that's something we ain't talking about. That's something we don't talk about enough. That's something we don't talk about a lot. Are you a slave to social media? Living in an age of information, quote unquote, scrolling and all that kind of stuff. You know, the whole game of attention and likes, comment section. Oh, you know, that attention is a drug, bro. Oh, I made a post. Let me go back and look at it real quick. Let me go back and check it now. It was 4 minutes ago. You know, I would say 14, but 14 too long. We all looking within the next 15 minutes for sure. We done looked at it about two, three, four times probably. You know. Oh, let me see. Let me see what they say. Let me see what you know. Too deep. I'm too deep. All right. And so, man, you gotta think about that. And that, like I say, that's his own thing. That's his own conversation right there. When it comes to social media, yeah, of course, lust, money, anger, pride, drinking, drugs and all that there. Yeah, that's a thing. But today on social media, you know, are you a slave to that? Is that something that could you be, like I say, could you be managing your time a little different? I'm pretty sure we can all get some more time out of the day if we put some of the put some of our phones down and didn't scroll so much. And I know that's some shit that everybody didn't heard at this point. But like I say, I've thought about that. I've had that thought to myself. I've had that thought to myself where I say, hey, social media, it's a form of slavery at this point, and it's affecting people. I went on wax to say it might be more detrimental or just as detrimental as slavery was. Because I do think it's a form of slavery, low key. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like, rather you call it the Matrix, whatever you want to call it, you know. I think so. What you think, buddy? think, buddy? What this boy look like? Boy look like. I'm gonna tell you who he look like, but y'all don't know him. Google Gold D. Roger. I know it sounds funny for the people who don't know what I'm talking about, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know you know. The boy look like Gold D. Roger. Gold D. Roger looking at. All right, let me chill, let me chill. Anyway, I gotta catch me a fish, but I didn't thought that to myself. I didn't thought that to myself. Like, yo, um, because like I say, people, man, look, has social media done more harm? Has it helped, or you know, more good or bad type thing? You know what I'm saying? And like obviously, we got people in the comments, so we gonna have that conversation. Well, it's kind of about but and that's the truth. That is the truth. Yes, like it's a tool, just like money. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of other things, right? But a tool in the hands of a fool is a dangerous weapon, right? Right, right. We know that. So let me cook. Let me nah, but a tool in the hands of a fool is a dangerous weapon for sure. So if you got somebody who got a bajillion dollars, right, and they are evil mother sob, shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? What he want to do with these robots might be world domination type thing. You know, just think about Dexter Laboratory. I love Dexter Laboratory. Wait, no, that ain't Dexter. Dexter might have been evil too, low key. I don't know, but like I said, I'll figure that out later. But like Pinky and the Brain, them rats, same thing we do every night. Pinky try to take over the world. There you go. That boy Brain was looking for world domination, bruh. He was looking for world domination. Now I don't know what a rat infested world domination world look like. I don't know what that planet looked like, but that's the type of time he was on. But like I say, so you give Brain $1 million, a bajillion dollars, not a million, but you get what I'm saying. A bajillion dollars. I mean, you might walk outside to. It might be some crazy stuff going on out there in the streets, for real, for real. So much like ain't no different from today. What we got going on? Can I catch a fish? Jesus. Um. So like I say, a tool in the hands of a fool is a dangerous weapon. So going back to like I say, social media. Like I say, cause yeah, it's social. Does social media have its benefits? Absolutely, 1,000%. Social media has its benefits. I think, you know, marketing, um, you know, keeping up with people. I guess family and stuff like that. But it's a little different. The algorithm seems to be a little different than it was in past years. If you ask me, Jesus Christ, we can't get away from these goddamn carp suckers. Y'all think I'm playing? That's really the name of it. A river carp sucker. Can't get away from it. That sounds so funny. The fish, I know it do, y'all. That's the name of it. So you know, social media doing more harm than good. Uh, I don't know. Like I say, you got people who spend a lot of time on social media day in and day out for hours. Neglect the kids in the house, neglect their responsibilities. Like I say, when you start going down that rabbit hole, we talking about negative outcomes and things that like if you get your ass off that goddamn social media, maybe you can get something done. Maybe you can da 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 da. Maybe you will know, such such such, type thing, right? Um, so yeah, it got its benefits, but the majority of people, what do you think they doing? The majority of people ain't got no business. The majority of people ain't got nothing that they trying to sell or trying to scale, right, and make X and X amount of money. Most people are consumers. We know that. You know that. You know. So, like I say, women are selling. Women are selling a lot on there. Twerk videos, tit pics, whatever, however you want it. You know what I'm saying? You can get it. So go down on the internet and get it. So, I don't really dive into that side of it for sure. But like I say, you can't help being on the internet seeing some. And I don't even click on these type of things. I get to the point to where I done seen this shit so much, bruh. I'm sick of seeing the twerk videos. I'm sick of seeing, uh, you know, every time I'm scrolling, 1 out of 5 reels, you got a woman on here in something tight with her ass out, shaking her ass. You know what I'm saying? This shit is, bro, that shit is so played out and so lame. Bro, what are we? I don't know. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna digress because, like I said, that's a whole nother topic for me sometimes. But you know, it is what it is. But the attention, that becomes. I do think that becomes a thing for women. I do think that becomes a thing, probably for people who really men too. It can be probably, but like I say, I think that becomes a thing. Like wake up. Oh man, I posted that video, that ass shaking video. It did 30K views. It did 200K views or whatever. Yeah, they here for that ass. They want to see that thing shake, whatever. Da 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 da. Woo woo woo. You know what I'm saying? All in the inbox. You're beautiful. What I wouldn't do to get that, have a piece of that, sexualizing the shit out of you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. How did we get here? But I digress. I digress. You know, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But back to the topic. That is a good one. Social media most definitely is one of them things that, like, you know, you can be. I think people can be a slave to social media for sure. Let me see what else it says. I don't know. I don't say nothing. But that's it.